This is Young from Chuyong's Kennel with my boy, Jaguda, the warrior, the survivor. Keep watching GH Dog TV for more dog content. Thank you.
GH Dog TV, your number one TV for all dog lovers.
Welcome to GH Dog TV, your number one dog TV for all dog lovers. And my name is Solo1. You can call me the dog blogger. If you are new on our channel, you kindly subscribe to our channel and then you hit on the notification bell icon for more exclusive and amazing dog content. And then you also follow us on all of our social media handles on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at GH Dog Blogger. Now today, the current location is Kaswa in the central region of Ghana, and as you can see in my background, today we are at a kennel. Yes, today we are at a kennel, and then we are going to speak to the boss man very soon. This is actually a Rottweiler kennel. Yes, we are at a Rottweiler kennel. But then before I introduce my guest for today's show, let me acknowledge our proud sponsors. We are proudly sponsored by Bravecto Chew, your number one solution to all ticks, fleas, and mites infestations. You found ticks, mites, fleas on your dogs. Come on. Just go to any pet shop or you pick up the contact details on our screen and then you get Bravecto for your dogs. And after giving your dog one tasty soft Bravecto chew, they are going to be free from ticks, fleas, and mice infestations for 12 good weeks. Bravecto can be given to breeding dogs, lactating dogs, as well as puppies from 8 weeks of age. And then we are proudly sponsored by Josira Pet Food, the pet food with a passion. You have dogs, you are looking for dog food with the right nutritional content. You go to any pet shop or you pick up the contact details on our screen and then you get a product from Josira Pet Food. They've got dog food, puppy milk, wet food, dry food, sauces, and what have you. Pick up their contact details and link up with them. And the beautiful thing is they've got dog food for diet-sensitive dogs which are grain-free and hypoallergenic. Now, dog lovers, let's go for a quick break. We'll be back shortly. My name is Solo1. You can call me the dog blogger. Don't go anywhere.
Having trouble dealing with ticks, mites, and fleas infestations on your dogs? Use Bravecto Chew. Just give your dog one tasty soft Bravecto Chew and they will be free from ticks, mites, and fleas for 12 good weeks. Visit any pet shop near you and grab a pack of Bravecto Chew now. For wholesale and retail, contact 0243 554 612. Remember, Bravecto Chew may be used in pregnant, breeding and lactating dogs as well as puppies from 8 weeks of age. Bravecto Chew, your perfect solution to all ticks, fleas, and mite infestations.
Okay, welcome back from that quick break. Today the current location is Kaswa in the central region of Ghana. And today I'm right here at House of Vigilio, Rottweiler, Kennels, West Africa, Ghana. Yes, about a year ago, I spoke to the boss man and he showed just 2 dogs, just 2 studs on the show. And right now, I'm right here with him. And today, we're going to have a very lengthy conversation. Boss man, welcome to the show once again.
Thank you. We're glad to be here.
This place is very, very beautiful, boss man. I think this is a different location.
Yes, different from the one you came to the other time. We thank God for the space. Very important for every breeder. So we thank God for the space we have and the lovely dogs we have. And thank you once again for coming.
You're always welcome, boss man. But it seems there's something about Kaswa that you love, because you were in Kaswa at first and you are still at Kaswa. You moved to a new place and it's still the same Kaswa.
I still be in Kaswa. I still be in Kaswa. No specific reason, but I still be in Kaswa.
Fantastic. Now, boss man, for somebody who is seeing you for the first time, I'd like you to officially introduce yourself once again.
Okay, so my name is Peter Vigilio Olympio. What again should I even say, Seth? Charlie, this is me. This is Peter. I know the story. I mean, this is Peter. The person you see is Peter. Peter started dogs in 2009. When I say Peter started dogs in 2009, I don't mean I started proper breeding in 2009. I only mean I was introduced to dogs in 2009. Introduced into the whole dog industry in 2009 by Papi, Kenneth Finn. he was an American Bulldog lover. Still is an American Bulldog lover, but he switched off a bit. But he soon be in again. Yeah. So Papi introduced me in 2009. That was when I got my first dog for the breed. I don't remember what breed it was. Then back then, Papi had a bully. He had a Pitbull Boa Bull crossed, and he had a Rottweiler Page, one of the best I had seen at the time. He had Page. I think Page was 2010 or 11. He had Page then. So then I had my first female. Papi crossed for me for free. And then I got puppies. He helped me sell. He introduced me. Most of the people I know today was because of Papi. Kenneth Finn introduced me to Agbe 2010, 2011. Introduced me to Humble. Not just giving me the contact. He actually took me there and introduced me as, oh, this is Peter. This is my boy. I'm training. I'm coaching. That kind of thing. So then, because of him, I got to meet the big people early enough. I think he's the same person who took me to Dr. Annie, if I'm not lying. He's the same person who took me to Dr. Annie. I think 2012, 2013 there again. So Papi introduced me to so many people I know today. So then 2009 I got my first dog. I still don't remember the breed till now. I got my puppies. Then I met Nana Kwame. He's into King Corsos and Presses, East Legon Hills.
Roots
Canarios, yes. I met Nana Kwame. Nana Kwame had something similar to what I had back then. Her name was Spooky. So I still have his number stored as Nana Kwame Spooky. So we were North Kanishi then. I had recently, I just graduated from JHS, St. Teresa's School. That was when I started, when I graduated. I mean, but everyone in school, from primary to whatever, knows that I love dogs.
Now, let me pick it up. I'll let you continue from you talking about Spooky, But before 2009, did you have anything to do with dog? I've noticed that you don't just like dogs. It's a general animal love kind of thing. Yes. So before 2009, did you have any experience with any animals or dogs?
Anyone who attended school with me knows this. So then grandpa had poultry. Dad did a bit of everything. He just wanted to enjoy himself. He did a bit of everything, and that's how I also am now. So we had rabbits, we had ducks, we had guinea pigs, we had snails, we had crabs. Some of the animals I might not remember. We had goats, we had sheep. You can't be seeing me in the morning at the tap batting your sheep. I mean, so I grew up like that with all the animals around. So the ones I didn't have was because maybe daddy didn't like them. But so the back of the house in North Kanishi, the back of the house, we had goats, we had sheep, we had ducks. I've taken duck eggs, I've eaten duck meat. I mean, everything, Charlie. So it was fun. It was fun growing up with the animals, Charlie. Like we had these two local dogs in the house, but the dog thing wasn't an interest for me then till I met Papi in 2009. All this came up. Papi introduced me to Dr. Kisi, just I know, Animalito. Yes, so Papi introduced me to House of Vigilio, North Kanishi. They sell. They used to sell. I don't know if they still sell. They used to sell this homemade dog food. It was horse fat, horse meat, blood, maize, and some things. I mean, a lot of things. Then I met NKT. You know him as NKT. Yeah, I met Malcolm, North Kanishi, Swan Lake, Malcolm Road. So yeah, that's where I met all those people. Way back, Charlie.
Wow, I now really understand where the love for dogs is coming from. Yes, because talking about you being introduced to dogs, the poultry and stuff, I now really understand the passion and all, and I'm sure my dog lovers are loving the conversation. We just got started. Trust me, today is a full package. Now, Peter, can we get Colt to join?
Colt,
I think
come.
I think Colt is my favorite boy at the moment. Wow. Dog lovers, check this dog right here. That's Colt right there. Very, very obedient dog. Wow, just check the size and all. Man, I think the last time we visited, people really loved Colt and all the size and everything.
So they were calling him Chop for GTA and all that. Yeah.
That's the famous Colt.
He'll be 7 years soon. Yeah.
Wow. Check out the old boy right here. Colt. Such a beautiful, magnificent beast right there. So now, Peter, we continue with the conversation. You talked about Spooky and all of that.
Yeah, so let's go back. So that's when I met Nana Kwame. That's the owner and the CEO of Brutes Beast Canarios. He breeds Presses and King Corsos. But back then, he was just a dog lover. Anything at all he sees, he likes. It's not about the breed. For him, he just loves the dogs. Spooky was indoors with him. anytime Spooky, it was fine. Anytime they are leaving the house and like you're leaving your child behind, Spooky will be hitting on the door. So at times he has to come and leave Spooky for me before he can travel. If not, he would go leave enough water and food down for 2-3 weeks. The dog is fine. She has a corner, she'll go and poop and things. See, he introduced me to the indoor keeping of dogs. Back then I hadn't seen anybody keeping dogs in dogs. I knew everybody was keeping them in cages and all that. He's enjoying himself. Yeah, so that's when I met Spooky. I mean, I don't remember the names in order, but I think everybody's name will come up at the right time. So then Spooky also had a female. She came in heat. We mated. I think the litter was at my end. He kept some. He dashed some. I think it wasn't about, like I said, for Nana Kwame, it hasn't never been about money for him. He's always loved them. So I think he had 7 puppies. He kept 2, dashed about 5. We sold 1, just paid for the vaccination. That was it. And he was happy about it. And next time again, we mated again. He kept dashing the puppies out, and that's it for him. He just loves his dog, sees his dog reproducing puppies, that gifting them to people and all that. So that's how Nana Kwame has been since. And it's not now that he's coming to change or he's doing something different. So that was about Nana Kwame. I got introduced to Agbe. Then
Agbe of Pet Planet.
This is Agbe. Back then he had Baby Man. Baby Man, this photo. That dog can cross any animal in the world. Boa bull, grazing, whatever it is. So anytime you bring your dogs for mating, you have to lock that dog's cage extra well. It's a poodle, small dog. This is about this height, but it will cross anything around. Once you're on heat, he will cross. You find his way to do it. Yeah, that's when I met Baby Man. And then Papi had this, I think Lhasa or Shih Tzu, I don't remember the breed, called Barbie. Barbie was given the most beautiful colors. I think Agbe even bought one from him. Yeah, so that's about Agbe. Then I met Humble 2013 thereabouts. I got introduced to Humble. I said Papi introduced me to Humble. And then there is Nana JC, this name. In fact, let me go back. So then I met Nana JC, I think, early days, I think 2010. Then Nana JC had a Dogo Argentino, Fofo. Yes, he had a Dogo Argentino, Fofo. And then we're doing our usual stuff. Nana JC quickly became family member. He's no longer a friend. I call him my boss and all that, but he's not a friend. He's more than a family member to me, because he gave me my first Mastiff male cow, the Brindle male I had back then. Yeah, so Nana JC gave me that male. We did a few matings here and there and all that. And that was when I learnt aid and how to cross my dogs, because that guy had this kind of soft thing, and then it was very difficult to use him. And I got introduced to Nana, the groomer at Spentex. He does aiding. I got introduced to him. I got introduced to Nikwe, toy dog breeder Alabadi, because of aiding. And I got introduced again to Isa. I met Isa then. He didn't really know me, but then Isa used to do almost everything free for me. If he had to do 3 to take example, let's say 3 to take 200 to this example, he would just do the 3 and take 100 or 50. So he's just in a neighborhood, so no problem. So by watching, I learned how to do my own aid. So I've been aiding since 2013, 2014. So I aid all my crossings and all my things myself, thanks to Isa, Nikwe, and Nana Spentex. Then there's Shaibu Koforidia. Yeah, he had one of the best Boabo males. He had, I think, he had Tank, and then he had this other male, Tylo. That's Mabi's boy. What's his name again? Mabi's brown boy. No. Mabi's male. So the father was owned by Shaibu.
Talking about Tylo, I think I had this interview with Hallmark Boabos. Big shout outs to you, Mr. Kofi Senya. And he also talked about seeing Tylo for the first time, and he completely fell in love with the Boabo breed.
Shaibu was doing very well. He loved shepherds and Boabos. But now he's doing other farming things, guinea fowls, ducks, and everything. He's into that now. But then Shaibu raised one of the most beautiful puppies I'd ever seen for Boa bulls back then. I was new to it. I was seeing so many things, and then the social media thing wasn't that great now as it is now, where you ask for parents' pictures, you get the ideal thing. I mean, you get the right thing. Now, back then, if you want a dog, you have to go and see for yourself. So that's where I visited so many kennels. I met so many people, because they wouldn't do pictures, they wouldn't send you pictures, or you're not even using a phone that has WhatsApp or a phone with good quality to be able to get the right resolution for the pictures you have. So we moved from Accra to Kumasi, Accra to Eastern Region, Accra to Central, just to see dogs. Yeah, so it's been like that. Then who was I even on? Nana JC. Yeah, so then I got my first mastiff male from Nana JC. Fast forward 2016, Nana JC. When I decided to do what, Nana JC got me my first female. He got from Mike Menu in Tema. I think coming 25. Yes, he got that female from Mike. And he told me, Peter, since you want to do what, I'm giving you this female, and that's how I got my first female. And then for my first female, my first mating with Humble was a puppy deal. I didn't really know Humble then. By my second mating, he did a free mating for me. And then Humble also gave me my first Bull Mastiff female for co-owning the first Bull Mastiff female. Then he also gave me my first pedigree Rottweiler female was from Humble too. That one too on co-owned basis. So my beginning wasn't really by buying the dogs. I was getting them because people saw value in what I was doing. That's how come I got most of my first dogs. So that's why even now, if I meet people who are doing well, I give them very good prices, or I give them some of my an adult female something, and we co-own because of how I started. So when I see that same thing in some people, of course, it's not all that would be good. There's the bad in it and all that. Then I met Noel Ashaliboche. Then I met Che. Che is in the States now. Che and Noel. So Che and Noel, they had their own cars. Part of the reason I don't like driving till now. They had their own cars. Anytime we had to do any dog thing, we just buy fuel and we go. Noel and I can leave the house as early as 7 a.m. and return as late as 8, 9. Just seeing dogs, visiting kennels, going here and there. That's how come the by God's grace the name has gone far, because we actually met the people one-on-one and not just on phone. So and I met Yaira. I don't know if you yes, Yaira, yes. Back then he had Panado's son. Will I remember this boy's name? No, I don't remember Panado's son. He had this Boabu male and then this Rot male back then. Unless they don't touch your female. Once they touch your female, you give it. Wow, walk out. Yes, I bet Yaira. Back then, the names, I think I'll forget so many because there are a lot. There are a lot. I'm trying not to forget anyone, but the names are a lot. So yes, and around 2012, 2013, that's when we relocated to Ashaliboche, and that's when I met Noel, Yaira, and the others. Okay, so then as at early 2012, I don't think, apart from the Ridgeback I had, yes, apart from the Ridgeback I had, I don't think Yes. So it was just the Ridgeback I had.
You know, I know my viewers watching us, they are going to find it very interesting, because you've talked about a Rottweiler, you've talked about a Mastiff, now you're talking about a Ridgeback. We'll get to all the breeds you've owned.
So then I had the Rhodesian Ridgeback. So that was the only dog I had. Once I feed in the morning or in the evening, I'm done. I can go out, go and see all these lovely dogs. I come back and look at my dog. I'm like, wow, see what I saw outside there. Actually, you're not a dog, but you know. So then I had my Ridgeback, and then P was in this estate. What's the name of the estate at Nongwa? I forgot the name of the estate. But then P is an all pit bull guy, like pit bull, thoroughbred pit bulls, not these current mixed trends that people have, proper pit bulls. It was a dollar man, that's Jerry at Dansoman. It was Jerry O'Toole P. I think Papi got in a bet, but he's an American bulldog guy, so he wasn't too interested. So then P introduced me to someone who had an Ridgeback male, because I got my first Ridgeback puppies, blah blah blah. P should be breeding now, but he doesn't have the time to. You should meet all these guys I am mentioning. They're lovely people. P had this pit bull in the estate. I think Troy. If you are around the house and you are disturbing, he barks and you don't move, you flip the wall and come outside and sack you. Yeah, several times you're calling from work that P or your dog is outside the house, and at times he comes out and he's just lying in front of the gate. He won't go anywhere, just lying right in front of the gate. I mean, all these stories make everything interesting for us. Lady, you want to show yourself?
Wow, dog lovers, check this beautiful female out. That's the oldest girl.
She's 7, going 8 now.
Wow, dog lovers, check this beauty out. Very beautiful female, right?
We don't call her, but he come. This one can show.
She wants to be in the camera.
Yeah, so that's about P. Then Nana JC has always been in the picture. Every year we have something to do. Then I got introduced to Piqué, Tema. He had a poultry farm. He still has a poultry farm. He had one of the best Bordeaux I'd ever seen. French Mastiffs, the best Bordeaux I'd ever seen. Piqué is in the minds of anyone who who knew him back then. Not for his dogs. We love Piqué not because of his dogs, but because of the meat he gave us. He had over 40,000, 50,000 beds. So chicken necks, chicken legs, chicken carcass, and all that. All those deals he was giving to the breeders at very, 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 very. In fact, it was too affordable. So Piqué was doing us all the. You're punching into the mic. Yeah, so we're talking about Piqué, Charlie. Shout outs to you. And he raised one of the very good, I think, if I'm not exaggerating, he's the one I know of with the highest Rottweiler litter in Ghana. He had 16 puppies. I think it was Freud. Was it Freud? Yes, I think father was Freud. Freud has done a lot of good to us in the dog world, but just that we don't appreciate him well enough because back then we didn't have our kennel union as strong as it is now. We didn't have a good database. We didn't have good females. When you have better females and you breed to them, you're able to get offsprings that are worthy of being called the sons of or the daughters of, and then you continue from there. Because whatever it is, each dog or each bitch will die off at a point in time. It's your progenies that will speak for you. So back then we didn't have enough good females to breed around and then registration and all that.
I think I met with Freud at Ammonia's kennel on our very first episode. Freud House of Vigilio. Yeah.
Yes. And then that's the reason why some call me the database, because I move with people like Papi. Ammonia not too much, and then Papi used to keep everything in his head, so that's where I learned all that from. Yeah, so for Fred used to be for Humble. He was the one who imported it, sold it to Leo Kennel. Leo sold to Ammonia, and I think Ammonia sold to Massacre. Yeah, that's the travel for Freud. Then I think 2014-15 I met Leo Kennels. Leo had Diego, Hector, a lot of good dogs. Diego, Hector, and a lot of good dogs. Leo produced very nice puppies. But then I don't know if he's still breeding Rottweilers now. But yeah, Leo is one of the people that if he was still actively breeding, he'd be one of the top guys in Ghana now. And then I met State Kennel when he had Lord Fresh. And Lord was a decent boy from the beginning. Charlie, SMP, Lord, all of a sudden the dog just switched. Because I could leave my house as early as 5:36 a.m. Get to Papa Kojo's place. He's even asleep. I'll get into the house, open Lord, do the mating, lock him back and all that. Then when he switched, only God can save you. He will damage you. He won't bite a leaf. He will damage you. I know what caused the switch for him, but that's just it. So some people still remember me as Peter from, I think my 20. I still cherish those days. My 2012, 2013 early butchery days. Like I said, I had a ridgeback. So if Noel and I are not in town looking at other people's dogs, I'm in my neighborhood just walking around. I can wake up at 8 a.m. just move around, especially on Saturdays. If I see you walking your dog, I'll approach you. Hello, my name is Peter. I live here. I'm a dog lover. I can help you take care of your dog. That was what I was always saying. That's where I met Sami Aoku, because Sami, the trainer, the guy with the Maltese. Yes, that's why I met him. He was walking. I think they had a Neapolitan then. He was training the Neapolitan. That's why I met him and Sami Aoku. I think he's the current national youth organizer for the NPP. Yes, that's why I met them. And then they had this lovely Maltese Nero has produced so many puppies for almost everyone. So that's how I met them. So it's just by this. I go, please, my name is Peter. I'll show you where I live. I'm into dogs, but I don't have so many dogs now. I can help you take care of your dogs. Some people would rubbish you. Some people would.
If I'm getting that time, do you have a dog?
Just the ridgeback in the house.
So you're talking about some people rubbishing you and stuff.
Yeah. At times they'll meet you and they'll be like, I didn't ask for anybody to help. I mean, rudely like that, but you can't blame them. I never took anything for granted. I never took anything to heart to stop me from what I was doing, positive or negative. I was still happy I'm doing my work. So that's why I met a lot of people. I met Mr. Sam. I still call him Mr. Sam Blue House because that's how I started his name. And then when I met him, he also had a ridgeback male. A ridgeback Boabo mixed male. He wasn't too interested in the dogs. He just loved the dog for security. But now I can tell he's bought 2 pedigree Boabo males because he loves them now. He loves them now, not just for the guard thing. Yeah. And then I met so many people. I used to bath people's dogs every Saturdays. I move from house to house. For those who have my contact,
You were doing it for free.
some for free, some for a token. Yes, and then back then, even though I didn't know too much, if they ask, "Oh, my dog is doing this," quickly I call the vets. If we need to take it, we take it. I ask all my questions, and that's how come I know what I know today. By using, so your dog is sick, you don't have the time. I come with a taxi. We take your dog to Dr. Kisi. Mostly it was Dr. Kisi when I was in North Kaneshi. Then I ask all my questions. I put everything here. So my experience or whatever I have has been from back in the days. Crossbreeds, purebreds, pedigrees, breeds across everything. So that's why that is Dr. Kisi. And then in Butche, and I've worked with a lot of vets. Not worked there like I'm working with them, but I mean sending my dogs to their clinics. There was Dr. Anno in Ashali Butche. There's Christian, I think he's now in Adenta. And that's when I met, around that time I met Kojo Panado too. Back then he was into pit bulls. After his main Boa bull moved on, I think when I met him he was into pit bulls. So I met Kojo Panado. I think now he owns mainstream at Kwabenya. So that's when I met all these people. So we really met a lot of people. And then there was Henry Boateng. He had Henry was into English bulldogs, and then he was the first person who showed me a proper English bulldog. I think the first time I saw the puppies was, I think one of the first meetings before KUG was KUG. I mean, when the brains behind KUG, there was James Silicon, I think there was Annie, there was Ronnie. We met at Accra Mall, Silver Lounge back then. I wasn't too interested, but I was just following because Papi was saying, let's go, it's important. Papi was saying, Papi's not part of KUG. I mean, he introduced you and everything, but he's not part of KUG. He happens. So Papi was telling me it's important, let's go. I'm like, okay, let's go. I think one Sunday afternoon we went for the meeting. Henry couldn't come because he wanted to do a CS, and then when he came, his puppies, and then the bitch was in the back of the car. That was when I actually saw a first English bulldog, proper British bulldog with the puppies and all that. I think that was the first time I even heard about cesarean. I think so, maybe in dogs. So that's when I met Henry Boateng. Then there's Ali Gay and Ameya. Ali Gay was the Maltese boss of his time. I think he wants to go and pee. Bye bye. So I think Ali Gay was the Maltese boss of his time. If you use the flower pot into Spintex, he had these big banners, Alligator Maltese and all that back then. Yeah, so he had a lot of Maltese. Papi also introduced me to Rockview. Before I had my first Boa bullet, I had already known Rockview kennels. I met Black Argo.
Before you had your first Boa bullet.
I met the breeder. Oh, the breeder. Then that's when I met Rockview. He had Black Argo then. Black Argo. I took some pictures with Argo and I still have them. I still have Argo's pictures then. Great guy. Of course, everyone has his way of understanding things. Everyone is unique in their own way. The ultimate goal should be we should have something we all want and strive for. Let's forget our individual differences. So I met Rockview. I met. I think I was in this Bob Nana Bonsu. I was in his house twice. One with Isa and I think one with Humble. I saw lovely dogs. See. So it was difficult for me to decide on which breed because I had seen so many great dogs. It wasn't just online pictures. It wasn't just online. At base place, I saw anytime Agbe brings a new dog, Peter, but I will be about here. Oh, I pick my car. That's how come I have Boyka. I have a picture of Boyka. I was lying on the floor. Yeah. First time meeting the dog, guys. See, anytime Agbe brings a dog, Peter, I will be about here. Then I'll see fast. Whatever I'm doing, I'll stop and go and look at it. All this was before 2014, 2015. So I had a lot of exposure thanks to Papi. Thanks to Papi. Then if I remember anything, I'll go back again. So around 2015, when Papi started introducing me to, yes, and there's Joe, a car dog show. He used to organize Joe, evangelist Joe Kutule. Yes, Kutule, yes. I met Joe, I met Pablo, he's into Frenchies now. When I met Pablo, then he had Umbro, one of the best Rottweilers male. That's how come I went for Colt, because the kennel that Umbro was from was the picture of a Rottweiler I wanted in my head. So when I wanted a male for myself, I went to speak to the same breeder, and that's how come I got Colt. Yeah, so an Umbro, like I said, back then we have good females and we have good registration processes. So then now if you ask of any Umbro puppies, we might never find any of Umbro's puppies. Thank God for KUG, thank God for RCG now and their database. And hopefully next year they're even bringing a DNA part into it, where we can verify parentage, genetic diseases and all that. I mean, I'll get into it later on. So around 2015, I told Papi, I told Quapson. I mean, they were my closest allies. Wait, I forgot my most important man. So there's silicone kennels. I wish today's breeders met silicone's dogs. So people say my puppy pictures are edited. I believe it's because they've not been able to raise puppies to that standard. But looking at what I saw back then, I still think I'm not there yet. If you see silicone's puppies, the man wasn't my friend, he was my father's friend. So I still give him that, should I say, respect, or I'm not too close to him because for the fear of offending him. You know, he's from a different generation. You know, the way we relate, I can tell you but it's just friendly. But to him, it might mean something else. So I don't really get that close. I don't want the familiarity to destroy whatever I think I have with him. Silicone's dogs, forget whatever you've heard. You should see the dogs. If everybody's Doberman is about this height and this thick, his was this and this. If you think Colt is big, you should see. I think that was Diego. Diego if I'm not exaggerating, Diego at 7 months was bigger than Colt. He had Diego, Ro, and Kenya. Kenya was the tallest. I think Ro was the biggest, and Diego. See, he had beautiful dogs. He had a Great Dane, he had a Doberman, he had a Shapey. He had Bull Mastiffs. You see, it makes you question why you're breeding pedigree dogs. Because back then, I didn't know so many pedigree dogs. Fine, wherever he got his stock from, we don't know. But then, the dog shouldn't just be pedigree to be good. The dog must be good. The fact that the dog is pedigree doesn't mean... the fact that the dog is pedigree doesn't automatically mean the dog will come out nice. But for James, he had this consistency. Whether it is pedigree, whether it is not pedigree, whatever it is. If it's a Boabu puppy and you see, this is silicone kennels. If it's Rottweiler, you see, all his dogs were unique. So I met Jabba. He's dead. Jabba is dead. The late Jabba. 2012, 2013. There was this WhatsApp group, BDL. Billionaire dog lots. I was there. Castle was there. Vincent, Pitbull. He's in Tema. Vincent was there. There were a lot of names. And then, so I can say that the only person I know that was very close to silicone kennels to be able to raise puppies as good as him was Jabba. If you see Jabba's Boabu puppies, if you see Jabba's Great Dane, you know, yes, the guy has learned something. Yes, but then Silicone didn't teach us anything. He didn't freely give information. I'm not saying he's selling, but he wasn't opened up to whatever he was doing for us to learn from him. I hope he will, because I still want to learn from him. It's Charlie. See, you know, raising puppies is for me. It's a process you need to enjoy. You should be able to wake up and see your puppies and not think about how much is going into it, but then see the output and be like, wow, I love this. So that's the kind of people I look up to. Silicone is one of them. If you go, he doesn't talk about how much he puts into the dogs. You never hear him talking about how much. He just tells you it's expensive and that's it. But when you see the puppies, he shouldn't tell you how much that goes. You compare his puppies to other puppies you see around. This breeder might be saying, I use this, but you can see the puppies and look at Silicone's dogs. Charlie, no. Silicone is doing something unique. So Silicone, excellent. If you see Annie, Dr. Annie's Boabu puppies, you see that no. So people are doing things right here. But Annie too, he post pictures for you to see. So you visit him, you wouldn't know there are lovely dogs in Ghana like that. Yeah, so I was ready to do poodles. Papi said I should buy my first female from Nikwe.
You were ready to get poodles. I'll let us get into that part very well. But then let me acknowledge our proud sponsors, Bravecto Chew. Your number one solution to all ticks, fleas, and mites infestations. You found ticks on your dogs, fleas, mites. Just pick the contact details on our screen, or when you go to any pet shop, you ask of Bravecto Chew. And after giving your dog one tasty soft Bravecto Chew, they are going to be free from ticks, fleas, and mites infestations for 12 good weeks. Go to any pet shop or pick the contact details. And Bravecto can be given to pregnant dogs, breeding dogs, lactating dogs, as well as puppies from 8 weeks of age. And then we are also proudly sponsored by Josira Pet Food, the pet food with a passion. You have dogs. You're looking for the right dog food with the correct nutritional content for your dogs. Just pick the contact details on our screen. Or when you go to any pet shop, you get a product from Josira. They've got dog food for puppies. They've got sauces, dry food, wet food, puppy milk, and what have you. So just pick their contact details on our screen and link up with them. And the beautiful thing is they've even got dog food for diet sensitive dogs, which are grain free and hypoallergenic. So just link up with them, or you go to any pet shop, you ask of any product from Josira Pet Food. Now let me get to the boss man. Boss man, today I'm really enjoying the interview, and I'm sure my viewers are picking a thing or two. You're an upcoming breeder. You need to learn a lot from this. One thing I've noticed about your conversation is the connections, the networking, and all of that is very, very important. Now, Peter, you got to the part where you talked about poodles, but then before I let you get into the poodles, how many breeds did you own? Can you mention some of the breeds where you started and then you got to, and how did you even get into the breeding at all?
Oh, for the breeds, I don't think I would be able to remember all the breeds that I've handled, but there were poodles, there were shepherds, there were Dobermans, there were Rottweilers, there were
the German shepherds too.
Yeah, there were some mastiffs, there was a Ridgeback. Was there a pit bull? Things I might not remember. I might not remember.
One I really remember, you mentioned in our previous interview, was bull mastiffs.
Yeah. Oh, for the bull mastiff, they had to break early. So
just like your friend Ranzi also said. Ranzi also said he had a broken heart from the bull mastiff.
Shout outs to Dynamic Kennel, Ammonia, Dongilo, Empire, Twin Pillar. Charlie, those in the bull mastiff, Charlie. I don't know if it has gotten easier, but Charlie, me to. I had a female. She came on heat. One of the nicest girls from Dave and Dogs. Yes, I think Serbia. She came on heat. We mated. I was all excited. I had 13 puppies stillbirth. And I'm saying, but you why? So I started asking questions around, and apparently most of them needed to go through a cesarean to save their puppies. I don't like bottle feeding until today. I still don't like bottle feeding. I don't like tube feeding. I love straight from source, mother's milk. So for that reason alone, I am not doing bull mastiffs. That's why I'm not into bull mastiffs. So then, what was I?
You're talking about the poodles. You're talking about bull mastiff and then the breed.
So the poodles then. So I discussed with Kwapsin. I discussed with Papi. Papi said I should buy from Nikwe. I bought my first black. Her name is Black and she's black. Curly haired poodle, very nice girl. You'd love her. I got that one, and I got, I think, one other female, and I got a male ready to start. Then from nowhere, Kwapsin tells me that, Peter, let's do Rottweilers. See, forget the poodles. Poodles are not dogs. Let's do Rottweilers. The first dog he showed me was Rex Timitor from Darko and Serbia. I was like, okay, so what's unique about this? You know, if you don't really know anything about the breed and someone even shows you an exceptional dog or anything, you can't appreciate it enough. He sent me the dog. I was like, what is this? Dang. I mean, we had a long talk. We used like a week or two to finally decide that we'll do the Rottweilers. Then I told JC, and that's why I got my first female, Aisha. And I got my first litter, I got my second litter. Then I moved on to the pedigrees. But House of Vigilio was registered, I think, 2017 as a brand in 2017. Then Kwapsin linked me to Brooks. Kwapsin linked me to Mr. Mpate. He was the only imported lot into the country. Kwapsin linked me to Chemix, Nigeria. Chemix Wireless, Nigeria. Kwapsin, who else? Kwapsin linked me to so many people. I don't remember all the names now, but Kwapsin linked me to a lot of people that have been helpful in my growth process, and they're still helping me. And but anytime I need any information, I ask him. He sorts me out right now. I think the last time we had a conversation was last. He's out of the country, but anytime I text him, he replies. So that's it. And I met Bobby. I met Bobby. I think 20. Bobby picked a puppy from my second Rottweiler. Yes, I gave him the best puppy. I gave him the best puppy, a male puppy, in that litter. That's how I met Bobby.
Bobby, you mean Bobby from Bobby's Kennel?
Bobby, good. When I was mentioning those who raise puppies well, I mentioned Silicon and Annie. You should see Bobby. Bobby does an excellent work. Bobby, Empire, Dongelo. See, they're doing well. So, you know, raising puppies is not just putting your foot down and go, and then, of course, because the parents are good, you assume or you presume or whatever it is that they'll go into good adults. If you don't have a good start, you don't have it right. If you see Bobby's puppies, you'd love them. If you see Empire's puppies, you'd love them. So Silicon, Annie, Bobby, there's BBK, the guy into the Excel bullies. I mean, I appreciate every breed, even though I'm into Rottweilers. So at times I see your puppies because you've done a good work, and I see your adults, you've done a good work. I share for you, I share contacts. I mean, I'm not doing it for any cats or anything. I just appreciate people's work, because I mean, coming from where I came from and then how people helped me, I just feel that's the only way I can also help back. So there, that's why I met Bobby. I met Sappho is a crazy middleman. In fact, the middleman, crazy middleman. There's Sappho, there's Papi, there's Tattoo, there's Joe, the dog Accra dog show guy. Man, if I don't meet middleman, I say middleman on Mojo. Share. Charlie, I mean, it's been an interesting journey for me. So anything I know or anything I'm doing today is from all these pieces I picked from all over. I'm sure I've even forgotten over half the number of people I met in the beginning who have helped me. But then, I think that's it.
So you're talking about the point where you said you wanted to do poodles. Now Quapsin comes in, shows you the issues about the road. And I think that in our previous episode you talked about Quapsin now doing toy dogs and you doing road.
He's the Shih Tzus and poodles now, and then he has let the Rottweiler so Quapsin, oh, but then he still gives me tips on the Rottweilers. He asked me, Peter, have you seen this dog? Look for this dog and all that. Then I think let's go to 2017, where I think Ampate and Ken 99 were the executives of the Rottweiler Club then. And then they got in contact with Nigerian guys. And then they co-hosted Anton Tony Spindler, ex-ADRK judge, ex-ADRK president. No, he's still a judge. Ex-ADRK president, ex-ADRK breed warden. I mean, he came with a lot of information. And that was when I met Titi, his kennel, Dr. Titi, for the first time. He also gave me something very important, that we shouldn't forget the God factor in breeding. Everything thanks to God, good or bad, thanks to God. And that was from Titi from. So when I met him in 2017, anytime we ask him any questions, he starts with, by the grace of God. He ends with, God bless you. I mean, I got that part from him. It's not that I wasn't a Christian, but I got that part. I mean, somebody doing so well and still acknowledging the God factor, it means he has seen something. Because he's a professional dentist, I think, the doctor on his own, before he has over, I think, 100 dogs. He still doesn't joke with the God factor, so that's where I got that from. And then I met Mame. I'd already was chatting with Mame, but then I think that was when I met Mame for the first time. And then there's Dr. Show. He's in Nigeria. He ignited my passion for the show ring. So 2017, that was the first proper Rottweiler event, like solely Rottweilers. I showed a dog then. I showed Leo's dog then. I mean, I got my critique. The dog was disqualified. I mean, no love lost. I was learning. I was happy to learn. We had a seminar. That was the first time I was hearing about JLPP, genetic disease with Rottweilers. Then the Nigerians, that was Mame added me to Rottweiler World, a Nigerian group. I can say close to 50% of what I know about Rottweilers is from that group. People come and post pictures and go their way, but then the educational material in that group, I'm not sure you find it anywhere. Fine, we don't have webinars or seminars on that page, but texts, it's always typing. There's a video, there's a link here. I enter Mame's private chat. Mame will send me a video. Mame will send me a link. On that same page, I met why am I forgetting my boss's name? The names are too many in the head. They all come. Sublime Kennel, Kevin. That was where I met Sublime Kennel, Kevin. Anytime I have an issue raising puppies and everything, when I started fresh, I asked him, without even thinking about it, do this, and I'm sorted. A lot of the time I also had an issue. I contacted Annie. All the people I've met in my life have not been stingy with information. That is why I'm also like that. I hardly deprive anyone of any information. I don't even know if he texts me, you need an information, unless I'm busy. If not, as soon as I see, I respond. And so, like I said, all these things surrounding whatever happened back then is what has molded me into who I am today. So credit goes back to all of them. Annie, Titi, Sublime Kennel, and then there's this other kennel and Divine Kennels. So Divine Kennels in Nigeria. She's also done a lot of good to me. I think there was this time where I had part of the reason I don't like bottle feeding. The puppy's nose was blocked. I mean, the milk had dried up, and then the puppy wasn't breathing well. No, this was Sublime Ken rather. He said there's two things. If you leave the puppy, it will die. So you risk drowning the puppy. So I got a bucket of water, lukewarm water, and it drowned the puppy. The puppy is supposed to hit the bottom of the bucket. And you pick it up. The warm water will just dissolve everything, and it was risky. But I mean, I'm not sure you find this on the internet. Maybe it is not ideal, but it works. And I haven't lost a puppy by drowning. If you leave a puppy, it will die. Because it has the milk dried up in the nose, and then the nasal cavity, wherever the air has to pass, it's all blocked. So you drown him, and then you pick it up, and then you swing a few times, and you are done. And I did it, and it worked for me.
Wow.
Then for Divine Kennels, the first time I had milk infection, I don't remember what dog it was, but then there was a milk infection. He showed me what drugs to give this 2 ml, do this, but let the puppy still feed. The milk was bloody. I mean, not thoroughly bloody, but there were blood stains in it. Do this until later I use it. I've even taught a lot of people the same thing. So I give a lot of credit to all the breeders who opened up to me and shared a lot of information with me. So breed standard wise, breeding wise, do this, don't do this, go this way. I had a lot of people coaching me. But what people can't handle is having maybe 4 or 5 mentors saying different things that have worked for them, and the people are confused in the middle. And then what happens is, what brings about the issues? Example, I'm looking up to you as a mentor. I'm looking up to him as a mentor. You tell me to do A, B, C. He tells me to do C, D, E. There's a contradiction somewhere. Instead of being wise enough to find out and sort it out yourself, he comes to tell you that, oh, even though he said this guy said this is better. Then you bring out confusion among them, because this works for him, this also works for the other guy. So it's just about maturity of the people the information is given to. If they don't handle it well, they bring out issues among all these big breeders in their own corners, because everybody has his own way of doing things, and it works. So this is so. I really thank a lot of people for sharing so much information with me. So before I actually got my first pedigree Rottweiler, I was prepared. Because I had all this information at my fingertips. My mom still sends me emails till today. If he sees any link online, my mom was Nigeria. If he sees any link online that is Rottweiler related or pre-standard related, and it's good, Peter, I have this for you. Watch and let's discuss. My mom will close from work, get home, finish everything, and around 11, 12, 1, we are discussing dogs. Yeah, so, and what also helped me back then was we had a lot of arguments on pages. So till dates, people are still having some of these arguments, and it's easier for me to answer. Yeah, I think there was a time we were talking about traits that were genetic based and traits that were environmental based. I think Annie puts in a few words there. Kwapson puts in a few words. This is like 2014. Just about a month ago, similar thing again. Discussion was going on a different page, and I brought up all the information I had back then. I just put it in there, and everybody was like, "Wow!" I mean, well, the credit's gonna come to me, but somebody tell me back then. I mean, so I still have all these things in my head. Location of dogs, I might forget, but the dogs, I remember the dogs even than the breeders. For the breeders, I've forgotten about. I'm sure if you bring their dogs, I'd remember their dogs, and I would forget the breeders. I mean, so that was it for me. Then I was into aiding dogs all over. But now I have stopped. I do for only my dogs, and for maybe if I know you, if not, I won't do it. I won't do it. Then early days, even before 2015, that's when I met Kelvin, the trainer. Back then, Kelvin has really grown. He has matured to what he is now. I just wish people could appreciate what we have. Kelvin learned under Kenneth Singer, and then Kelvin was a trainer. I mean, he was the only trainer I knew back then, apart from Sammy I mentioned. I think Issa too was into training. And there was this other guy, Malik. There were a lot of trainers around, but I mean, Kelvin was the one I was close to. If I have anyone, so through my knocking on the door, I got pet shops to like me because I was buying from them. I was bringing clients to them. I got Kelvin to appreciate and like me because I was getting him clients. So that's how the whole thing went for me. So you have puppies. Oh, so it was now that people have relaxed a bit. But back then, if you need any puppy, ask me, I'll get for you. Even though I don't breed it, any puppy, because I know this house that has this dog that you don't know about. I know this guy who knows this pet shop, that kind of thing.
The amazing thing is that time social media too.
It wasn't like today. It wasn't like today for us that via fast YouTube, Facebook, something you find. But now the breeders are appreciating the social media thing, and then they are putting their work out there for us to appreciate them more. I believe they should do more. Have your kennel pages, post a lot of your work there. That's the only way you get to reach your clients directly, because the middlemen are wicked. Middlemen are wicked. They'll push you to your barest minimum and sell twice or three times the price right in front of you. They would say it's business, but I mean, if you know you're going to make it that much, why would you even push down my price to the barest minimum? Where I am thinking you're not making anything, so I'm coming down for you to make something, then you end up selling 2-3 times the price. On their end, they always tell you it's business, but then wait till you're a breeder. That's what I can say. Then, I beg you, I've forgotten about it. I just remembered. Reggie Dansoman. Reggie Dansoman sent me to the first Accra dog show I went to. Reggie raised another guy. He raised a very beautiful Boabo puppies then. But unfortunately, I think around 9 weeks, Pablo cleared all of them. He had this Brindle female I loved so much. He had one of the most aggressive Rottweiler males. Back then I was into Rottweilers, I wasn't really looking there. He had this Bull Mastiff male and female. Damn. Reggie, Charlie, thanks so much for everything. Yeah, there's Reggie. There's Mike. Mike is into pugs and king courses now. Canny courses now. He's in Mamprobi. Charlie, the names there plenty. I don't just remember all the names. There are a lot of people that have helped me to up to this point. I'm very grateful. God bless all of you. Good or bad, God bless all of you. God bless all of you for me. So if I didn't mention your name, it wasn't intentional. I mean, I love all of you. Good or bad, I love all of you. From Massacre to Yaira to Walkview to Annie to the Nigerians, Dignitaire, Cornerstone, Mame, Kim Bakes, His Kennel, Dr. Show, Agbe, Noel, Che, Mike, Reggie, Reginald, Charlie. The names plenty. All this before 2015. Charlie. God bless all of you for me. For making time to give out the precious information you gave me that helped me up to this point. Thank you so much.
Nice one, dog lovers. That is actually the boss of House of Vigilio, Peter Vigilio Olympio, one of Africa's top Rottweiler breeders. And I'm sure you love the conversation. We are not done yet. We're going to talk about the kennel. We'll check out some of the facilities he has right here, and then we'll check out the dogs in this kennel. But then there's actually the part 1 of this interview. In case you want to link up with House of Vigilio, take the contact details on our screen and link up with him. And then if you are new on our channel, you kindly subscribe to our channel, and then you hit on the notification bell icon for more exclusive and amazing dog content. This episode was proudly sponsored by Josira Pet Food, the pet food with a passion. You have dogs, you're looking for dog food for them with the right nutritional content, just pick the contact details on our screen. Or when you go to any pet shop, you ask of any product from Josira. They've got puppy food, puppy milk, dry food, wet food, sauces, and what have you. So just link up with them. And then we're also proudly sponsored by Bravecto Chew, your #1 solution to all ticks, fleas, and mites infestations. Ticks, fleas, mites. Just go for Bravecto and then your problem will be solved. And after you give your dog one tasty soft Bravecto Chew, they are going to be free from ticks, fleas, and mites infestations for 12 good weeks. Bravecto can be given to breeding dogs, lactating dogs, as well as puppies from 8 weeks of age. Now, dog lovers, this is actually the part 1 of the interview. Watch this space for the next one.
Having trouble dealing with ticks, mites, and fleas infestations on your dogs? Use Bravecto Chew. Just give your dog one tasty soft Bravecto Chew and they will be free from ticks, mites, and fleas for 12 good weeks. Visit any pet shop near you and grab a pack of Bravecto Chew now. For wholesale and retail, contact 0243 554 612. Remember, Bravecto Chew may be used in pregnant, breeding, and lactating dogs as well as puppies from 8 weeks of age. Bravecto Chew, your perfect solution to all ticks, fleas, and mite infestations.